Heidi ho, guys and gals. Welcome back to the Den of Tools. We got your end of October Harbor Freight deals. Let's jump into it real quick, though. I wanted to say, if you haven't seen it, we got the leaked Black Friday ad for all the Harbor Freight deals. In that, I said, I only have this from one source. We don't have 100% verification. On this point, I now have verification from two other sources. So we are hard verified that this is accurate. So if you want to check that out, go on over there, take a look at that. Maybe you want to take a look at that and compare it to this deal, see if you should wait on some of this stuff. But anyway, let's jump into it. Let's keep going with the deals. First off, we got a great budget deal here. This is the Merlin. Of course, Merlin's the higher end air tools or air accessories over at Harbor Freight, and you're getting the coupler here for $1. That's a no-brainer right there. We got the Banks. Again, the Banks is the lower end. I guess technically it's the mid-range. I take that back. We got Central Pneumatic is the low end. Banks is the mid-range. And of course, Pierce is the high end. And this is the 16 gauge finish nailer for $60. That's 14% off. I'd rate this as a B on a scale of A to F kind of deals. This is a B level deal. We got the Fortress air compressor here. This is the 1 gallon. I know I've shown the 2 gallon around here. That's the one I have. This is slightly smaller, even more compact, even lighter weight. It's super quiet. Great light duty air compressor. It's $20 off now at $130. We got the Black Widow air gun here. This is HVLP professional grade air gun. And yeah, I've talked to some pros in the business who've used this. They said they were super impressed with this air gun, that for the money, there's nothing else out there that can touch it. $150 on this one. Of course, I talk air reels and hose reels all the time, cord reels, that stuff too. This is the Earthquake. This is their high-end professional hose reel here, 3/8 inch with the 50-foot industrial grade air hose reel. They're not cutting any corners on this one, folks. This is a solid hose reel here. It's $150. You're not going to be second guessing this purchase. It's a rock star, and that's a decent price, $20 off. That's probably a C plus kind of deal on that one. All right, Fortress. This is the 27 gallon. This is the one I have in my shop. 200 psi. Now, I in the video for I think it was for the whatchamacallit, for the Black Friday. I just read what they said on it, and they said 200 psi at like was it 200? No, it was 5.1 SCFM at 200 psi, and that was a misprint. I remember thinking it was odd, but they had a bunch to go through, so I kind of just kept going. It's at 90 psi. It's accurate on this. It's a top tier air compressor. I absolutely love the thing. 78 dBA. It's not super quiet, but it's not bleeding from the ears either. $50 off coupon. Now here's the deal. That's the same price. If I'm not mistaken, that's the same price as the Black Friday sale. But with this, you also get, look at it right over here, you get the free Chief Air tool with it as well. That is, you can rarely stack deals, but that's a great combo right there. All right, let's see here. We got funnels for $1. That's a no-brainer. You should just stack up on those things. The Pittsburgh hydraulic bottle jack. Now, it's the 20-ton for $40, 33% off. That's a great deal. Thing is, it doesn't lift super high. Now, if you need something that goes up a little bit taller, you're going to have to go with, we got up here the Daytona 20-ton, and it's $90. All right, now that's not a sale price on that, but just be aware that sucker is out there, and you may want to take a look. Make sure this thing's going to have high enough reach for what you're doing. All right, we got the Pittsburgh here, the 3-ton floor jack with rapid pump. This is a great everyday use kind of jack. All right, does it have the same fit and finish as the Daytona? No, but for the average Joe who's just lifting up a light truck, your Honda Civic, light truck, it'll do. It's a 3-ton. It'll lift the same thing my low profile Daytona will lift. You're not getting any extra lifting oomph out of it, but you get a larger range with the Daytona. You get better fit and finish. But if you're on a budget of $120, this is the way to go. The Pittsburgh aluminum jack, if you need something that's more lightweight, easier to toss around, 2.5 ton. Aluminum racing jack for those kids racing their jacks on the weekends. Crazy kids. Anyway, $175 on that. Here's the Daytona right here, and this isn't just any Daytona. This is the Super Duty Daytona, top of the line. A lot of people don't realize this comes with a warranty. I think it's a 3-year warranty. Let me scroll down here. Product overview. Where's the warranty on this product? Highlights. 3-year warranty on this. So very few items at Harbor Freight come with a built-in warranty. This is one of them. A lot of people don't realize it. The orange is nice. The yellow is, of course, what it first launched in. But Brother, the candy apple metallic red just looks like you want to take a bite at it. And of course, now they got the plum crazy purple for you Mopar guys. All right, 260. This is, I mean, you see these in pro shops everywhere. I go and I'm always checking out shops, trying to see what tools they use and everything else. It's almost impossible to find a shop that doesn't have one of these jacks in it. Now you can get it on sale in one of your 4 colors. I like the candy apple red, but I'm also a Mopar guy, so I gotta have a nod towards that purple. All right, we got the Fisher ATV mower high lift jack. This is a very specific use kind of jack. If you're looking for this, you know what you're looking for. It's $50 off, down to $250 on that one. The motorcycle lift is $150 off right now, down to $450. I talked to some folks who've used this for some fairly big bikes, and they say this thing works like a charm. So if you've been thinking about it, it's time to pull the trigger on that one. ATV winch here for $70. $70. I got to figure a way to rig that up into my truck. I want to put one in the bed of my truck. $70 on that yeah, pull the trigger on that one. Even at 12% off. Although I will say this, keep an eye at for the open box. We got some stuff coming up around Black Friday, stuff like that. You see a lot of these ATV winches in open box items, so you might want to hold off for that. Here we got the Badlands ZXR 3,500 pound winch here for $140. We got the Predator. Now this isn't the little one. This is the 301. The horizontal shaft. Again, normally $300, coming down $30 off to $270 on that one. We've got the Predator. This, again, if you see the red body on it, the block on it's red, it's one of their high performance ones. So you got the 15.8 horsepower here, horizontal shaft, normally $470. It's only $20 off, but getting any kind of deal on the Predator engines is usually a good deal. All right, and here we got the gasoline. This is a full trash water pump. This isn't just clear water. It isn't semi-trash. This is the whole 9 yards. This will pump all the nasty stuff out. At 23,000 gallons per minute. Is that right? 23,000. Wow. 3-inch diameter on that. Normally $900. It's $100 off, coming in at $800. Yeah, I'm rounding on these because, it is what it is. Pittsburgh, I love these things. They're super cheap, $2. I'm always tossing a tape measure around somewhere. My tape measures always grow legs and walk off, and something the wife grabs them, the kids grab them, I pick it up, I set it down, I don't remember where I left it. So just get a bunch of these, toss them around the shop, keep them in the car. If they die, they die. You just grab another one. All right, Pittsburgh, I absolutely love this ratchet. No, it's not a super heavy-duty ratchet. It's just your basic ratchet, but it's an extending ratchet, and it's reversible. It's got 1/4 inch on one side, 3/8 on the other. I use it a lot I leave it at home. I use it for working on the kids' bikes. They need something adjusted, this, that, the other thing. I don't know whether I need a 3/8 or a 1/4. It goes great in a travel bag for I'm going to go take a look at, work on something. I don't want to carry all my ratchets with me. I got this one extending, double-sided. It covers 90% of the stuff you're going to use it on. Dead blow hammer here coming in 14% off. Not the best sale price we've seen. Again, a B-level sale price here. $30. Great dead blow hammer, though. Just a fantastic hammer. The Pittsburgh drawer set here. I'm not a fan of this set. I think a lot of the stuff they're not the top tier tools. They're not even the mid-tier tools. But it's a lot of tools for $50 or $45. If you've got this, or you bought it, put it down in the comments. I want to hear your review on it. Again, I'm notorious for being not really super hyped about combo sets like this. I think there's a ton of filler. I think the tool selections are not that great. But let me know what your experience with it has been. All right, let's go. Now, this is one I will approve of. I'll put the stamp of approval on this. The Quinn Master set here, coming in at $350. This is a C+ kind of deal here. It's normally $400. We've seen deals where this drops down to $300. So you might want to hold off for some of those deals. But if you need it now, a $50 difference. I mean, in rather than trying to get it, maybe missing it later, bird in the hand, two in the bush, that sort of thing. This is just great. Look at this. We got the 1/2-inch drive, 12.5 to 250 pound torque wrench, flex head, digital angle. That means it does the angles. If you know what I'm talking about with the digital angles or angles on a torque wrench, that's the new stretch tension. I don't remember the exact word on them, but the new kind of bolts that they use, you have to torque them to a certain kind of stretch, and you need the digital angle or the angle on that. I guess you can do it manually too and figure out the math. But anyway, normally $350. It's $50 off for a top tier professional grade electronic torque wrench there. We got this is the 10 millimeter This is the like 10 millimeter insurance is what this should be called. You got it in deep, you got it in ultra deep, you got it in shallow, you got it in impact, you got it in flex heads, all the way around, everything you need for $12. You might as well grab it. I mean, usually 10 millimeter, if you had to go and buy it, how much is that one going to cost? And you got a 10 piece of them for just over $1 a piece. And you get the rail to go with it. Here we got the Quinn half-inch preset lug and torque wrench here. Now, at $45, you've got to be doing a lot of stuff with basically tires. Because, I mean, it's a lug nut torque wrench. So you got to be doing a lot of tires to justify that. But if you are, this is the way to go. All right, super glue. Here's my thing with the super glue. I have a ongoing issue with super glue because I don't use it that often. But when I do need it, I open it up and it's dead. It's dried out. It's, you can never really truly seal the glue. So I just grab a bunch of these and they're almost like single use at $1. So I used to try and get like the big things of CA glue, but they always end up drying out on me because I just don't use it enough. Vanguard 3-way ground adapter, nice little adapter for $2. Holidays, lightning, that kind of stuff's coming around. The Thunderbolt series, AAA. I love the Edge batteries. I think they're just fine. $5 on that is 33% off. We got the Braun. This is this is an inspection light. It's not super high power, but you don't want super high power. I've got this flashlight from Olight. It throws out an astounding amount of power. But you get into like an engine bay or an electrical box or something like that where you're trying to see what's going on, you're just going to get glare in your face, and then you're going to be seeing spots. That's why you want something like this. It's a lower lumen. It's a soft dispersal kind of light. Just basically illuminates it so you can actually see what you're doing. 25% off. That's that's a solid deal on that one. All right, we got the Bunker Hill Lumen wall mount security light. If you've been looking for something like this, you can screw mount it. It's got an adhesive mount on the back. It's 25% off. It's a great little walk light kind of light so you can see what's going on. We got the Vanguard 100-foot 10 by 30. That's 10 gauge 3-prong triple tap extension here. It's got the lighted ends on it so you know it's plugged in. I like that. For $120, and it's $20 off the price. That's a solid deal. We got the Thunderbolt kit here. Solar has come a long way, and solar panels have come a long way. And there's cheaper kits and stuff out there, or cheaper panels out there. Where this comes into play is teaching you how to use solar. It's got the controller, it's got a couple lights, it's got all the cables, it's got a nice setup. You're not going to use this a lot every day. Maybe you will, camping, something like that. 100 watts. For me, I need more power than that. And I also have access to some really high-end panels. But I bought this when they first upgraded it to the Thunderbolt. And that's how I taught myself a lot of the solar stuff that I know, was by playing around with this kit. And actually, because you got the little controller there, and you can actually see what's what and how it reacts and what it's doing and different ways to connect things. So as an education piece, $170. Are there better kits out there or better panels out there? Yes, there's better panels. Harbor Freight sells better panels, but for what it is, it's a good deal. We got the Franklin moving blanket here for $479. That's a solid one. The 40 by 50 blanket for $450 again. We got the nitrile dipped gloves there for $3. We got the high vis polyurethane gloves for $2. I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with the Hardy gloves, and I haven't tried any of them that I don't like. The Ranger Comfort grip knee pads for $8. Again, they didn't have, or at least they weren't common. People didn't use stuff like this when I was back in the trades, and oh my gosh, I wish I did, because when I was running cable and stuff like that, we did a lot of work down on the ground, and my knees would probably be a lot happier if I had stuff like this back then. With paint body kit here, this is the full respirator large for $30. It's only 9% off. Not the best deal. I'm going to be honest. Usually any of the percentage off coupons are going to be better than this. So you might want to hold off. But if you need it right now, there is a small sale on it. The Greenwood spray trigger nozzle, way better than the old sprayer that they used to sell, for $4, 33% off. That's an A+ kind of deal. We got this 4x9 tarp. It's 33% off, down to $4. The blue tarps, they're solid. They're decent tarps. I will say this though, like they show it here on a trailer. I would not recommend this tarp on a trailer. You hit highway speeds and it's going to shred. All right. If you're just storing stuff in the trailer, if you were carrying it around town at like 25, 35 miles an hour, you might be fine. Make sure you strap it down so there's no wiggle in it. Any kind of wiggle and it'll start to shred itself. You need to step up to one of the higher end tarps like this. The camouflage tarp here, weather resistant. It's a little bit better at $5 there. It's not a bad deal. The silver tarps, I think, are the best bang for the buck here. This is an 11 by 19 here for $20. And of course, we have the heavy duty tarp here. This is 20 foot by 30 foot for $75. This is a serious tarp here. What's funny though is it's super heavy duty, but on a tarp this size, it's just going to be sitting in place. Now, maybe on a boat, something like that, where it's up off the ground, wind comes up underneath it. It can pull on it and stuff like that. I can see using something like this. For the most part, though, that you don't often need that kind of heavy dutiness for something that's just basically ground cover. All right, let's talk about this. On Atlas, they are now doing a buy one, get the battery free. Get the tool free. Buy an 80 volt, 2.5 amp hour, 40 volt, 5 amp hour battery. So they're kind of a flex kind of battery. You get the blower, the trimmers, the edgers, the pole saw, or the chainsaw free for $140. These are good tools. I've not talked a lot about Atlas because they didn't have really good discounts on them. This is a really good discount. If you've been thinking about getting into the Atlas line, now you're still going to have to buy a charger if you're not already in the Atlas line. If you're in the Atlas line and you're looking to expand it, this can get you a tool and another battery for $140. That's a done deal right there. All right. These are the equivalent to me of the high end of Greenworks. Okay. If you've been comparing like the 80 volt Greenworks kind of stuff to this, then there you go. That's the direct comparison. Now we also have the 80 volt battery here, 4 amp hour, 8 amp hour battery. It's 4 amp, 80 volt, 8 amp, 40 volt. Again, the flex battery thing. $50 off down to $200. The microfiber cloths, this is a 4-pack of 12 by 12s for $1.50. That's a no-brainer to pick up. The Warrior drill. Now, I want to say that this thing is trash. I've bought it. I did a test with it. It's not junk per se. I mean, it does what a cheap 12 volt battery drill is going to do, which is very light duty, basic kind of stuff. But if that's what you need, maybe you're getting something for the brother-in-law, maybe you're getting something that's portable. You don't care if it walks off. It's not heavy duty. Okay. It's real light duty kind of stuff, but it's also $13. And that's the kit that gets you the battery, the charger, and the drill for $13. That's 35% off. I don't know. How about this? What would you buy this for? Put it down in the comments. At $13, definitely maybe you get that for the kids. I might be getting that for Christmas for them. They getting their own tools. They can stop borrowing dad's. We got the Bauer 6.5 amp, the jigsaw. This is a fine jigsaw, solid corded jigsaw for $30. That's a decent deal. We got the variable speed rotary polisher sander. Guys just love this thing. I hear people raving about it all the time. 30% off is a heck of a deal, down to $70. We got the Hercules job site table saw. Of course, this is the upgraded one from the one I did a video on. It's got the ratcheting style fence. It's got the wider feet as required by OSHA. I think it's got a slightly larger table. It's an OSHA regulation thing. All these got adjusted. OSHA came down with some rules, and that's when these came out. And DeWalt had to change. A bunch of people had to change their smallest compact table saws due to OSHA regulations. Go figure. Anyway, we're back down to $300. That's the launch price on this. So think about it. You're getting the table saw that's been upgraded to all the new features at the same price it launched for 5 or 6 years ago. If you're looking for that, go for it. We got the Bauer, metal cutoff discs here, 10-pack here for $5. That's a clearance price on that one. We got the sanding disc 5-inch hook and loop sanding discs here for $7. That's a 15-pack. So you're getting it for less than 50 cents each. We got the sander. Again, I'm a big fan of this sander. 50% off down to $10 for a little corner detail sander. Unless you are a high-end woodworker restorer who's sanding basically every day, This sander will probably last you as long as you will need it. You don't use detail sanders that much. You're not doing large amounts with it. You're only doing corners, nicks, or little nooks and stuff like that. It's not like a big orbital sander or a sheet sander or something like that, or a belt sander. You're just doing detail work with it. And for $10, I have mine. I've shown it on the channel. Use it all the time, and it still works just fine. We got the Warrior Rotary Tool Piece Set, 276 piece set. For $15, it's 25% off. That's a grade A deal right there. The Bauer 7-amp grinder here. This is a solid prosumer grinder. It's 33% off. That's a solid deal. Again, definitely an A, maybe A minus. No, that's probably an A to A plus kind of deal. 33% off for $20 for that grinder. That's a solid grinder. We got the Central Pneumatics 40-pound capacity abrasive blast cabinet for $200. Again, this is old school Harbor Freight, where basically you buy it and then you have to kind of fix it. So watch some videos on it. You have to get probably a tube of silicone. Sorry, you're not going to be putting the processor chips in it. Silicone. And you're going to have to do some stuff to really make this thing as airtight as possible. But once you do, you can't come close to this thing as far as price with anybody else. And actually, it's a pretty decent cabinet at that point. We got the Bauer wet dry vac. This is a solid Rockstar wet dry vac. $30 off down to $90. We got the Daytona. This is the one that I showed at SEMA last year. By the way, I'm going to be at SEMA in, 2 weeks? End of the month? I'll be at SEMA down there in Vegas. If there's anything you want me to check out, put it down in the comments. I will see if we can get around and check stuff out. I'm going to be stopping by, of course, Harbor Freight and all the other tools. Top Don wants me to stop by their booth, so I'll be over there. By the way, Top Don is doing a thing. They're doing a giveaway. So if you go by the booth and let them scan your tag or sign up or whatever, I think it's a survey thing. Then you get I think you either get a chance to win one or you get one free. You might get one free. I'll have to double check, and I'll put in another video there. But be sure to check out. Anyway, 1,500-pound capacity gear-driven rotating engine stand. If you're serious about rebuilding an engine, this is the way to go here. $50 off down to $250. All right, let's keep going here. We got the Apache, of course. The Apaches, as far as I'm concerned, are a must-have. I like the orange ones myself. Makes them easy to find in a stack. $30, that's 25% off. Again, that's an A-plus deal on that. The Yukon box, $320 on this 9-drawer. It's a solid box. It's not as big as the Husky, but the Husky has just gotten up in price. It's gotten a bit ahead of itself. I would give this a B minus price on it. Pittsburgh 6-inch quick release bar clamps. These things, you know how many of these you need? All of them plus one. $3. Grab them all. They're not big, but they're fantastic little clamps. And if you take the plastic parts off the ends of it, they work great with welding as well. Let's keep going here. We got the 4-inch C-clamp there. Nice little C-clamp, $4. Can't argue with that. The 17-inch, somebody just asked me about this one. The 17-inch. Now, this is going to get phased out, folks. All of the Central Machinery stuff is getting revamped. And as you can see, if we scroll down here, you can see some of it already has. This is the 12-inch. It used to be a Central Machinery. Now it's a Bauer. There's the 10-inch over here. That's the 13 inches on clearance right now. And pretty soon the 20-inch and the 17-inch are going to clear out as well. Here's the deal, though. At $370, is that a buy it now kind of price? Well, that's up to you. Are you going to buy it? I mean, it's a decent price, but are you going to roll the bones, wait a few months, wait for it to go on clearance and hope you grab one at a clearance deal? That's going to be a you call. Now, I've got mine, and I've had it for years, and I absolutely love it. Actually going to be getting rid of it here shortly, as I need the space, and I just don't need a floor standing drill press anymore. And you know what? I got other drill presses I need to test out, and I just don't have a big enough shop for all of them. So we're going to be moving on. Maybe I'll wait and see I want to get the new variable speed benchtop one. Maybe I should grab that. All right, the Central Machinery 9-inch benchtop bandsaw. It's a decent little bandsaw, $150. They're not the most high-end kind of things. There's better ones out there, but probably not at that kind of price range. We got the belts. Of course, I'm a huge fan of this belt sander. $20 off. If you need something like this, don't even think about it. It's got a ton of power. It's got the gooseneck light. You got the 8-inch grinder on one side. You got the 2-inch belt sander on the other side. It's a great tool. We got the titanium welder. This is the MiG 170 welder now, so it's not like the multi-processor or anything like that. It's on sale for $50. Take a look at the Black Friday deal. There's, I think the multi-processor one is on sale. You might want to compare prices. Again, we got speaking of multi-processors, this is the big boy, the Omni Pro. I think the Black Friday one is like $50 less. If you want to wait that long and then fight the crowds on Black Friday, you might want to do that. But take a look at that. This is a fantastic welder. There's just no two ways about it. And $1,000 is a good deal. All right, let's jump into the Inside Track Club stuff and see what they got. All right, we got the angle grinder. This is the 15 amp big beast of a grinder here. 7-inch to 9-inch. It's got both the guards with it. It's corded trigger style here. $25 off on that one. We've got the Hercules here. This is a great tote. Just a nice big carry everything kind of tote. It's 20% off right now. The quarter sheet sander here, 25% off on that one. And then we got the die grinder. This is not a little, people look at this thing and they think it's tiny. This is not a tiny die grinder. This is a big, hog everything out kind of grinder here. It's 25% off, and that is a top tier kind of discount on that one. How about this? We got the abrasive cutoff saw right now for $30 off if you're looking for a cutoff saw. We've got now over on the Bauer side, we got the little compact circ saw. It's 42% off. 42%. That is an A+ kind of deal right there. We got the metal shears. Again, that's going to be very kind of niche specific, but it's 30% off. We got the Bauer. This is a great grinder. If you don't need like the most heavy duty thing out there, I think this may be one of the best choices. You're looking at $140 on this thing. You're getting an 8-inch disc or 8-inch wheel on this. You're getting I said the LED light, but also variable speed. So you can go slow, you can go high speed, you can dial it in. It's got good tool rest. This is just a great all-around, just solid A+ prosumer grinder at a solid price, $20 off on that deal. This is a gold standard. I see old school woodworkers who've had the Harbor Freight big disc sander here in their shop for years. It's kind of like one of those secrets that people don't like to admit because they're like, I have all these high-end tools. What's that one over there? Oh, don't look at that one. Yeah, you got some Harbor Freight stuff in there. Well, this is the upgraded version, the Bauer 12-inch, 1.25 horsepower. This will eat up some wood here. It's $30 off right now. We got the Bauer. This is the 8-amp grinder. It's a nice everyday use kind of grinder. Okay. It's not the super cheap little, Warrior one for $10. It's not the super high end, Hercules one. This is just a good everyday use, solid workhorse grinder for 33% off on that. We got the Voyager tool bag. I'm a huge fan of the Voyager tool bags. These things, I use them for all sorts of stuff. Sometimes I even carry tools in them. 50% off on that one. We got the Vulcan. This is the Pro TIG. Inside track on this one right now is $200 off. Again, it's not the multi-processor. This is TIG all day here. 120 or 240 volt on that. Now let's talk about compound miter saws. Now this is the Warrior. This one's 20% off right now. It's the 7.25-inch single bevel compound miter saw. That's one you might want to consider. Also, now this is clearance. This is an inside track. The Bauer, I don't know what's going on with the Bauer saws. I don't know if they're replacing them or what, but not the sliding saw, just your standard 12-inch single bevel compound miter saw. But it's $140 if you can find it in store. Might want to take a look at that. All right, the Quinn. I know guys who've got this email me about this all the time. They're like, you got to talk about the diamond tips. You got to talk about the diamond tips. Okay, folks, we're talking about the diamond tips. They're solid screwdrivers, okay? 20% off coupon on that in Inside Track. We got the Central Machinery metal vibrator tumbler, 5 pounds. Not sure what you could use it for. Just, I don't know, tumbling something kind of metal, maybe brass. I don't know. Anyway, 28% off on that one. How about this? The Bremen clamps. People have finally found out the quality of Bremen. It is quickly becoming the go-to standard. 20% off the 24-inch parallel clamp on that one. This is a great deal. 25% off on Icon multi-spline screw extractor here. 15 piece set there. That's a solid deal right there. Now this one's a favorite of mine, the long reach needle nose pliers, 20% off on that one. We also have the 45-degree angled long reach pliers. Again, must have tools as far as I'm concerned. 20% off on that. And we got the Pittsburgh 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch drive. This is the Starbit socket set, 9 piece, 40% off. All right. And then we got, look at this, the Bauer. This is the corded rotary tool here. 37% off on this. It's a solid tool. It's not the bulkiest thing, but it's not super slim either. I like the slimmer model ones. I don't know. But it's a solid tool. And at that price, you got to really consider it. If you're willing to go with the old Chicago Electric, and a lot of them are pretty decent. We got the planer here, hand planer here, hand power planer, I guess, 30% off on that. This, I just picked up one of these. Of course, I was smart and got it in white, I should say Stormtrooper white, to go along with everything else. I absolutely love this little thing. It's a little fun trying to assemble a lot of screws and bolts and stuff like that, which is typical for this kind of stuff. But $30 off. I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's a great little cart, and especially if you're looking for a cart to mod for other uses and stuff like that. I could see taking this and modifying it into a welding cart, all sorts of stuff you could do with it. At that price, you know, you're not going to cry about it if you mess it up, hopefully. A 6-ton Daytona jacks here, $80 on those, 25% off. And again, you get to choose. Look at this. We got gray, we got black, blue, green, orange, and yellow. Unfortunately, not the metallic colors, but still decent. The 3-ton low profile professional floor jack with rapid pump. This is a solid floor jack here. $189, $50 off on the inside track on that one. Now I've got the low profile long reach, and that's my preferred one. Here we got the 4-ton. If you want to get serious, we got the 4-ton, $50 off on that one. Only 4 colors to choose from there. Of course, the shop stool. I gotta be honest, Northern Tools got a better deal usually on shop stools. It's a decent shop stool. I didn't find it to be the most comfortable thing. We should do a comparison of shop stools, see what the best shop stool out there is. I'll be honest, I had this, the Pittsburgh one. I don't know where it ended up. I had this one for years and I thought it was just fine. And also, if anybody ever recommends this, the Harley seat style one, just slap them. I don't know. Somebody told me that somebody was recommending this as a good buy. Everyone knows this thing is junk. It's absolutely junk. I'm sorry. If you have it, they're notorious. Do not get that seat. And lastly, I think this is the last one. PB Blaster. It's on sale right now. I think 28% off. I think it takes down to like $4 or $5, which is a ridiculous price on a great product. All right, there you go. That's all we got there for the deals of not deals of the week. See, oh my gosh, I will catch up here. One of these, mentally catch up. You know, I've had COVID and whatnot, and still not 100%. I'm getting there. We're getting there slowly. We're back in the shop. We're doing work. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got the Tough Built review coming up here. We got something. We got something down there. Somebody sent me a gaming chair for some reason. We're going to take a look at that. The missus is like, well, yeah, I need a chair around the shop. I'm like, okay, then, well, you get your chair. You don't say no to the missus, right? Anyway, and we got some other stuff coming up. So and of course, we'll be covering all the Black Friday deals and everything else. So don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of those deals. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.